Hello and welcome to InfoHub. We hope you had a great weekend. Here's what you need to know for Monday, June 11, 2018. State Minister holds interactive session with Region 3's youth. Special needs students being prepared for the world of work with human assistance. 24 hours operation at the New Amsterdam Hospital Lab, boosting Region 6 health services, and overseas consultants to aid GLDA's fee program. We have these stories and more. Thanks for joining us. We begin with some sad news. Champion cyclist Beyonce Ross died today without regaining consciousness at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Ross was hospitalized since Thursday last after she experienced a seizure in the late afternoon. The 15-year-old fell ill in February. In March, she was diagnosed with a non-cancerous tumor in the center of her brain. Preparations were being made to medevac her overseas before she succumbed. Here's a quick look at how Guyanese companies are benefiting from Exxon Mobil and its contractors. A $130 million contract has been signed for the construction of Guyana's first Hinterland Green Enterprise Development Center. Renetta LaFleur tells us more.
The Green Enterprise Center's main objective is to stimulate economic growth by creating and supporting innovative leaders with the knowledge to lead businesses in the hinterland whilst driving upstream demand for local products and services. Minister Sidney Allicock explained that the project is in keeping with President David Granger's Green State Development Agenda.
Our overarching goal, support Guyana's transition to a green economy by leading indigenous and traditional knowledge to develop and document sustainable business practices for application in enterprises across Guyana.
Located in the geographic space of the Bina Hill Institute Anai, the two-story concrete and wooden structure will comprise 8 classrooms, a modern computer and science laboratory, and a large auditorium and lecture room. Permanent Secretary Alfred King warned the contractor against shoddy work and untimely delivery of the project.
We expect the contractor to deliver the project within time and in keeping with the scope and cost of the contract. You would have heard from the Minister, we would not take any shabby work, so we expect quality and value for money.
The project is expected to be completed within 12 months with a defects liability period of 6 months. The official commencement date is June 22nd. The Green Center is a flagship initiative that will accommodate 120 students from Regions 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The students will pursue a 2-year hands-on course in enterprise design and startup management, sustainability, and leadership, coupled with access to business support services. Renetta LaFleur for InfoHub.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon on Saturday hosted an open discussion with the Essequibo Islands West Demerara, Region 3 youths on regional and countrywide social issues. Crystal Stahl has more.
After a number of plenary sessions and discussions in groups on issues affecting their communities, youths took the opportunity to voice their opinions.
The youth need a better education system overall because education is key to everything, and Guyana is opening up to a lot of things that require education. Having the minister here today, I feel as if there is a new ray of hope coming.
Carrier resident Ms. Debbie Fernandez cited the need for counseling services in her village.
Sometimes our youth feel like, as youths, I used to feel that way, like left out. Like, like nobody cares or what. Our youths want that help from people that could really take things in them.
Encouraging the young people to make the most of the youth explosion, Minister Harmon promised to take the stories told during the discussions back to the cabinet.
We want to take your message back to the various levels of government so that we can provide for you that quality of life, that good life.
Youth Explosion was held under the theme Unblocking Our Minds, Releasing Our Potential. This is the first of a series of similar events planned by the Ministry of the Presidency. Crystal Stahl for InfoHub.
Minister Harmon also got a first-hand look at the KSM Investments, an innovative company which is embracing the government's push towards a green economy. Here's Neil Williams with that report.
The KSM Investments Inc. concrete products factory on the east coast of Demerara is a multi-million-dollar company that uses state-of-the-art technology to produce concrete products including blocks, pavers, and curbstones. The company is offering to train government engineers in the quest to build stronger and longer-lasting infrastructure. Owner Mahadio Panchu explained that all must prepare for climate change.
The day of global warming, climate change, superstorms, we're told now, these are things that we have to preempt. These are things that are definitely going to happen sometime or the other. And we must ask ourselves if our infrastructure are designed to withstand the vagaries of the weather. We are willing to host the engineers, see, 1 session, 2 sessions, 10 sessions, I don't have a problem. We can take them on, let them come, let them sit with us, and we are willing to work with government and government agencies and all state-affiliated agencies in the execution of projects, in the designing of projects, and so on.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon commended the company. He noted once there is proper infrastructure, citizens will benefit in the long run, and this is what the coalition government aims to provide.
Public infrastructure, if it is not done properly, the people of the country, they're shortchanged because the roads, the drains, the dams, the culverts, they do not stand up for any length of time. So I believe that if we were to get good quality product, a good quality product, and that we insist on these standards, that what we will find is that these public infrastructure projects will benefit the people of Guyana in a better way.
Minister Harmon added that more persons should embrace local products as this will also boost the economy. Neil Williams for InfoHub.
Region 4 Chair Genevieve Allen is calling on citizens to assist the RDC and NDCs by paying rates to allow for the better provision of services. Here are the details.
Ms. Allen explained that neighborhood democratic councils rely on the collection of rates to provide services to citizens. These services include garbage collection, cleaning of drains, and maintenance of markets, playgrounds, and other recreational facilities.
If you do a review of what happened last year, their rate collection might have been 50 or 60% of the rates collectible. But there are a large number of NDCs that have outstanding balances on rates, and this would have been accumulated over a number of years.
Allen said the rates being paid by many communities are unrealistic and leave the NDCs hamstrung to provide adequate services with the meager rates being collected. She referenced Unity Vereniging on the East Coast Demerara as one example.
There is one particular NDC where the rates are very, very low because in that NDC, the residents only pay the rate for land. They don't pay rates on the building.
Minister of Finance Winston Jordan, during his presentation of Budget 2018, had announced that there will be property valuation exercises countrywide. Ms. Allen believes this will aid in remedying the current situation. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
Thanks for staying with us. Following the last local government elections in 2016, several young persons were elected to various municipal and NDC posts, most notably the 19-year-old Deputy Mayor of Lethem. Now, Minister Ronald Bulkan is urging more youths to see LGE as more than just a vote and get involved. Renetta joins us again.
Minister Bulkan issued the call at the launch of the Government Public Awareness and Stakeholders Education Project in the Parliament Buildings compound. He said the energy and ideas of young people are integral to re-energizing the local government system.
I'd like to add my own voice to that of Jamal and to encourage you not only to cast your vote at these elections, but to do as he did and to get involved in the management of your communities. This is an excellent opportunity for you to sharpen your leadership skills.
The minister noted that local government organs play a critical role in the national development. Hence, the government is investing heavily into this vision.
As a government, we embrace that view that decisions should be made as closely as possible to the people it affects. And we believe that once provided with the necessary support and resources, that people are capable of governing themselves. We hold the view that the rate of our development as a country is dependent on the rate in which our communities, towns, villages, and regions develop.
Local government elections have been held after a 23-year absence under the previous administration. 8 new NDCs and 1 new township will participate in the upcoming election. Renetta LaFleur for InfoHub.
The Education and Public Health Ministries, with Cuba's assistance, is working to ensure that all children, whether gifted or challenged, are given opportunities to develop their intellect. Alexis Rodney tells us for the first time in Guyana and the Caribbean, special needs students will be part of a system preparing them for the world of work.
This is being made possible through the establishment of the Center to Stimulate the Development of Children, Adolescent and Youth with Special Education at the CPC Turkan campus. The center, to be opened in September, will be utilized to diagnose, treat and train health and education practitioners to help students with special education needs. The first batch of trainees graduated today at NSERD. Minister of Education Nicolette Henry said the establishment of the center fits into the ministry's policy of offering the best education to children with special needs.
A national push to take students with disabilities out of isolation means that most students with special education needs now spend the majority of their days in general education classrooms rather than in special separate classes.
The 3-month session was undertaken by the government of Cuba and offered training in psychology, physiology, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, among others. Cuba's ambassador to Guyana, Mr. Narciso Socorro, said his government remains committed to Guyana's special education needs.
The training of the multidisciplinary team for the evaluation diagnosis of children in Guyana, the diagnosis and treatment of some children with special educational needs in the temporary place of work. At present, the diagnostic process is projected to begin in the first special school based on the condition created with the opening of the center.
I must be seen and must be heard. As a child, I too have a word. Don't regard me because I'm say good words, I don't have to frown. I have a future ahead of me. Just keep on looking and you will see.
Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
The medical laboratory at New Amsterdam's hospital functions on a 24-hour basis. This is a major achievement for Region 6 Health Services. Delicia Haynes has the details.
Technical advisor to the minister within the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Samantha Kennedy, a government medical officer, recently had a walkthrough of the labs and was amazed at the services being provided.
I remember when I was working here a couple of years ago, that was since from 2007 to 2009, the problem we had is that there was no place for the lab technicians to sleep at night, and so it was an extra cost on the hospital to be able to, every time somebody comes in and needs a service after 4 p.m., you would have to get a driver, a vehicle. It took a long time. So to come back now and to know that we actually have labs available here and a place for the persons to stay, and that they will be able to have 24-hour access to lab care services is awesome.
These comments were welcomed by Chief Executive Officer of the hospital, Colin Bino, during a tour of the hospital's grounds and facilities by ministry officials.
Our laboratory service has been improved because of the new structure that we have, and we are working on getting, as you rightfully said, the backlog on lab work and so on getting more equipment so that we can move at a faster pace.
24-hour services at the New Amsterdam Regional Hospital's laboratory began in February of 2018 after it was relocated to a new building within the hospital compound. Lab services currently provided include microbiology, serology, biochemistry, and hematology. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
Overseas consultants are assisting the Guyana Livestock Development Association to improve the quality of animal feed. Here's our final report from Stefan Gabriel.
Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Livestock Development Authority, Nigel Cumberbatch, said that the consultant services are in keeping with efforts to improve productivity at the Ubini station.
Our first set of consultants will be coming in June to assist us. The first one that will be coming will be looking at forage, our pasture, feeding program, and feeding systems.
The consultant services are being provided with help from the Agriculture Sector Diversification Program. Cumberbatch is looking forward to the introduction of the higher yielding and better grass species for large and small ruminants.
We would have requested consultants from Brazil who would have had similar type of savannas. We've also requested consultants from the United States, and we are in fact looking also at the acquisition of consultant services from Costa Rica, from Cati, that work with tropical conditions.
The GLDA is tasked with research and development of the local livestock industry. Its main task is to provide support and guidance to stakeholders in the industry. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
Here now are your bridge schedules for the Demerara Harbour Bridge and Berbice River Bridge. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.